Red pill content is pretty good for the most part. Um, I mix it in. I sprinkle it in with all the other stuff I listen to, whether it's financial or historic or political, social. The thing about the red pill content that you have to understand is these people make a lot of good points. And if you are ignorant to how women are, you can get bamboozled or taken advantage of very easily. See, here's the problem. The problem isn't women, okay? Women are what they've been. Like, they are whatever their environment will let them be. That's what they are. And I hear a lot of these red pill content creators complaining about women nonstop. And yes, the laws benefit them, but who allowed that to happen? I'm just saying, who allowed these laws to actually go in place? And they might have served their purpose back in the day, which they probably did. But I think that laws should have some type of expiration date. They can be revisited and reinstituted, but um, some laws just don't apply to modern society that applied way back in the day whenever they came in practice. Same goes for whatever laws that could possibly be good that gets implemented now, not going to be good for future societies. Perhaps we regress. But the what I've noticed about a lot of red pill content creators is they take things off the internet, and I've done this. I'm guilty of this, and then just make themselves feel better that either they're winning now because maybe they think that women are waking up, or um, they put out women's bad behavior. Um, Here's the thing. I think that a lot of guys who consume the red pill content, they they're seeking a tribe who they can relate to, um, and it helps pass their time. It helps make them learn. They definitely learn something, but they feel connected to something, um, which is good. There's a community, but the problem is when these guys come out with women in their 40s and their 50s, they're going to be losing, which probably, yeah, but the majority of, I think, women as of now in the 40s or their 50s, they're generally okay. Now I don't know if they're on like medicines or whatever, but if they got kids, they got friends, they got family, you know, the truth be told, they might suffer, a little bit, like not having a man in their life, but they're not as bad off as men are proclaiming, like it's just like it's the same thing. And the funny thing about the red pill content, like some of these content creators, like they complain about women being promiscuous, but then some of them teach men to be promiscuous. So it's like Rolo's like, you should be spinning plates. Like, dude, are you spinning plates behind your wife's back or something? Are you you know what I mean? It's kind of like I understand like keeping your game up, but you should probably keep your game up on your wife, and yeah, you can practice your game on anybody. Like all game really is manipulation. Um for instance, I remember when I was working at this job, and I would get to know the supervisors enough to understand like their interest and shit. So we'd have an extra time on our hands, and maybe I'd be talking to somebody and they walk past me, and they walk past again and we're still talking, they'll come and say something. Well, I would bring up something that they were interested in, and then they would completely forget about why they stopped talking, um and stop to talk to us, and then like we would talk about whatever we're talking about, and then he would just go on his way and I didn't have to worry about shit. I manipulated the situation. That's a game. um And I think that understanding game and manipulation is toxic. All right, right, right. But it is good to have a good understanding of how to influence people. Um, and just because like you might be manipulating people, but if you're manipulating them into a good situation, that's not bad. Like, what if I was to, you know, be talking to a woman and I game her instead of making bad decisions into making good decisions, or anybody for that matter. It just depends on if you're going to use your game for good or evil, because I think that you have to game your wife for the rest of your, like, it's a constant thing. You have to switch it up. um and I know it's manipulation is bad. I know, but it, especially nowadays, people are trying to manipulate things to their ultimate leverage. They want the ultimate leverage that they can get. Um, and there's a trust issue with men and women. But the thing is, um, women really, people will be like, oh, women have changed. They really haven't changed. They haven't really changed at all. I think that they're pretty similar how they've been since I've been on this earth. The environment's changed. So a lot of women get attention on the internet. You could be a regular woman, you could be a four, and you get plenty of attention on the internet. Guys will give plenty of attention, and you definitely get criticized too. That's what happens. That's the thing. That's what happens when you put yourself out there. You're gonna get criticized too. But I think that there's a lot of guys that simp. They, these women, it feels good to get likes. They put out something, maybe a selfie or something, they get likes, they get these comments, oh, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous. And it's the guys that are the problem. The women will be whatever the society or the environment dictates. Okay? They're agreeable. Um, Primarily. Like, how many women really approach guys and ask them on dates and say, hey, let's go here. We're going to, do you want to go on a date? Yeah, okay, well, this is where we're going to go. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to take. It's rare. It's rare. It's because it's out of their nature. And at this point, to me, I think that it's important for men to distance ourselves from women at this point and stop giving them attention if they don't deserve it, especially strangers. Like, for instance, I might follow a couple people on a couple of my social medias, like, that I know in person, and they are friends, but I don't follow random women. You know what I mean? Like, if you go on my Twitter, I don't follow any women. My Instagram, I follow people that I actually know in person. Um, um, yeah, Instagram. Um, same, mostly Snapchat. But a lot of people don't even know I gotta delete them. But Snapchat is just like whatever. It's just a form of communication, so I don't have to give out my real number. Um, which I don't like to give out my real number because to me that's a security threat. I don't want people knowing my number. Um, it's linked to a lot of things that are secure for me. And there's other ways to contact. If you want to contact me, I got like multiple different ways to contact me. It's like there's no reason for anybody to have my number that I don't want to have my number. Um, so you have to be careful with these content creators because there's a lot of negative energy that goes along with them. The problem with women is simps, man. Women have bloated egos because of simps. when you get told all the time, when you get told all the time and have all this validation and attention, you're gonna think that you're way better than you are. Um, for instance, if I was, if people could like my music or comment like this is great, right? And I seen that on a daily basis, I'd think, man, I'm a great musician. I'm a great songwriter. Or you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so I tweet something out. Like I tweeted something out the other day, and I didn't even do it right, and it got like 130,000 views and like almost 5,000 likes, and of course it makes me feel good. Um, and that's how these women, they get their validation. Like they think that they're better, and I don't think that I'm better than I am. I'm pretty humble, right? Um, so you gotta be careful about how much red pill content you listen to, because there is a lot of negativity, but it is good to live in reality. It is good to understand the reality of the situation. For me, I'm just kind of like with the red pill content. It's old to me. I'm pretty much hearing the same things I already know. And it's just like almost just background noise, or like I see a thumbnail of somebody I think that's okay, like they're cool, or like a headline in their video. I'm like, maybe this content is cool. But I don't see any like major changes going on. I guess the major changes would be men not approaching women as much in person. I don't approach any women anymore. I used to approach women all the time, even at work before 2016. I don't feel comfortable anymore. I have no problem to approach women, even though, like, when I approach a woman in real life, um, for me, I'm not at my best. It's kind of weird because, like, when I was on the internet and I set up a date, I I meet somebody in person. I did really well, like extremely well, and that because I know they're single. It's kind of like I have a understanding of what they're into, understanding who they are, and it's kind of like you just go up to some random woman on the street. You don't know if she's in a relationship, and that's I pretty much at this point think that all women are in some type of relationship at this point, even if it's not like a marriage um, or whatever, like actual dating, living with the guy. They're in some type. There's guys there. There's some guy already there, and it's kind of like, well, I just don't want to put forth the effort. Like I don't have women approaching me, so I guess I'm not that. Maybe I've lost what I used to have, which wasn't the greatest, but I had a lot of female attention before. Um, but yeah, the internet dating, what it's evolved into, just swiping on people is that shows that our society is pretty superficial, pretty superficial. And I'm guilty of less swiping on people all the time. So I can't really say much because I want somebody that's going to be healthy. I want somebody that's going to be going doing yoga with me. I want somebody that's going to go hiking with me. Somebody that's going to ride bikes with me. Um, Somebody that's going to go work out with me, go on walks with me. I don't want somebody that's just going to sit here, smoke cigarettes, and, watch Netflix all day. I don't really have any interest in watching chick flicks or Gilmore Girls or whatever the hell the new stuff is that people watch. Back in the day, it was Desperate Housewives or any of that crap. I don't care about American Idol. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to watch that stuff. It doesn't interest me. Um, but I like to actually go and do things, and I want somebody that can she doesn't have to keep up with me 100%, but I want somebody that's going to want to be able to do that. So I want somebody that's going to be healthy, someone's going to be a decent weight. Plus, I have to be somewhat attracted to them physically. Um, I'm not attracted to big women. I'm just not. I don't want anything to do with them. In fact, right now, I'm very attracted to really skinny women. And I didn't used to be. I remember when I was younger, I liked what women are now. Not with the obese or anything like that, but like the thick woman with the thick legs, booty, and nice waist. Nothing like crazy. And I don't expect that. Like the Instagram model. Like that's what I used to really like, and that was our. But now it's like I don't even care if they don't have no booty. Like that's cool as long as they ain't overweight, because there's so many women that are just overweight, and it's crazy because there a lot of them are so pretty, and if they didn't have all that extra mass, they would be gorgeous. Um but I don't want to. I've already tried the situation where you help, like I was involved with somebody, and they're overweight, and I tried to help, and you can't. They have to do it on their own. um so like there's nothing that I can do. I don't want to um try to take somebody who is massively obese and try to help them become healthy again. I want to, if I had a partner, what I would want to do is build a life with them. And there seems to be this mentality with a lot of females is they already want the guy to have everything, and she just wants to go on. She doesn't want to help build. She doesn't want to do any of that, and that's because of her parents. Her parents have completely spoiled her to have that type of mentality, not to have like the mentality where, wow, he does definitely have potential. He has potential, and um I can definitely see myself building something cool with this guy. Maybe we won't have the nicest things right now. Maybe we won't be able to go on vacation or anything like that right now, but potentially, yeah. Potentially we could have an awesome life. But females, um and men, people in general in society have become completely superficial. For me, I'm not, yes, looks is something I enjoy. Obviously I want somebody that I'm attracted to, but I'm extremely picky when it comes to personality and what type of vices she has, what type of people she's going to be bringing into my life. I don't want anchors in my life. I don't want um, a person that's going to be a negativity in my life. I want peace. I don't want to compete. I don't want to have to handle her. I don't want to have to try to. When I say handle, I don't mean physically. I mean like put up with their crap. Yeah, I like to do it like jokingly, like attitude jokingly, but I don't like a real negative attitude all the time, and that to me is just very unattractive. I like women that are friendly. They smile. They brighten up a room with their smile. They seem like they have some type of a joy. They seem like they can probably um, bond with me in some type of way. Um, some type of class. I like a little bit of class in a woman. And she ain't got to be no like extremely classy woman like a UK woman or anything like that back in the day or whatever. But how she presents herself, how she doesn't, like if she wants to dress sleazy, she does it just for me, you know what I mean? But she dresses like a lady, not have to expose all of her parts for everybody for attention. Not gonna put me in positions where I have to try to defend her against other guys' advances. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the drama. So it's for me. It's not just looks. It's a multiple different aspects of what I want in a woman, and I understand like um I made this video to talk about, like, you got to be careful about how much red pill content creation that you take in, because it could put you in this perpetual cycle of negativity and thinking about all women as bad. That's what happens. You start thinking all women are bad. All women think like this. All women sleep around. All women cheat. And yes, anybody can cheat. Anybody has a capability of cheating. If you're in a relationship with a woman and you get put in a position, a really smoking woman comes along, like, it can happen. Anybody could cheat. It can happen. Okay, so anybody's capable of cheating. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm saying, like, men cheat too. Both people do it. The whole marriage thing, for me, if I ever have a partner again, where we're living together, we're building a life together, I don't mind having some type of a marriage bond with her, but it won't be with the government involved. And it is kind of, for me, if I'm in that situation, I will definitely put, if I have any type of assets, I'll put that aside somewhere. And yeah, I'm putting this on the internet, but I don't suspect that I'll be in that position. But also too, like, this is a thing too, like, um oh, the marriage or bond would be between me and her and the universe or God. That's it. I don't want the government involved, but there are women, when they go through a divorce, who are absolutely ruthless to the guy. You hear about these stories all the time, and maybe she's a bad person and he should have picked a better person. But from my experience, if you aren't a horrible person to women, if you don't treat them badly, if you don't, you know, make them so they want to get revenge on you some type of way, my experience, and I haven't dated for a couple of years. I mean, I had somebody I'm talking to, I've talked to for the last couple of years, but my experience, and I know things have changed dramatically, but my experience is women aren't going to be that harsh if you're cool, if it's like a mutual type of thing, and you're not going to be a jerk. I think that they end up taking the gloves off in a lot of situations because the guy ends up being a jerk, and he says stuff, or he does stuff, and she's like, "Screw you." I'm not saying this is for every circumstance, but um, it's kind of like when you hear these red pill guys sit here and say, "Oh, she's taking me for everything. She's taking, like, oh, she's completely mean to me. She's a horrible What did you do? Like, we heard that your side of the story, that she's doing all this, but what made her come to this decision? Were you always so cool with her? Like, and that could be like, you could have done everything the right way. You could have been cool. Like, okay, you don't want to be with me, fine, that's cool. But something you did caused the relationship to deteriorate. Um, and something you did caused her reaction to do that, because if you look at female nature, they just mirror us. They follow our lead. If they feel safe and secure in your frame, they will take on your frame. And that's why when you go on dates, they don't want to plan anything. They want you to plan it, and the whole traditional thing of paying for everything. And it's about providing and protecting. That's what men have traditionally have done. Um, so if they feel safe and secure in your frame, you not drinking and getting screwed up or being immature, like, let's be honest, okay? If you're living with a woman and you bring in all the money and she stays at home and takes care of the kids, obviously in that situation, she's gonna have to handle the housework and taking care of the kids. And it will go the opposite way too. If the woman decided to work and bring in all the money and the guy did that, obviously he's going to take the brunt of the response, and they have to understand that. But if she works full time and you work full time and maybe she doesn't bring as much money, maybe you don't bring as much money in, you're both going to have to clean up after yourselves. You're both going to have to make sure the house is in order. You can't just expect the woman to go work and then come home and take care of everything and be happy with that. You got to be able to pitch into something instead of being lazy. And that comes to communication. You have to communicate with each other and be like, hey, listen, if there's something that you're angry about, I want to hear it as a man. Like, something I'm doing wrong, something you're not happy with, well, I want to hear it. Because if women, how women get over things, and when guys like, oh, I can't believe that she's already seeing somebody else. Well, chances are she was already emotionally already over you. She was only staying with you for security purposes, or she was trying to secure herself with another man, whatever. Women get over things by communicating them. They don't, chances are when she comes to you and talks about problems, it could be at work, could be with a friend, could be whatever. Chances are she doesn't want you to solve the problem. And for men, that's what we want to do. Like, okay, this is how you do it. No. How to solve the problem is her to vent that. Her to talk about it. Her and to understand like how to get over her grievances with you, she has to be able to talk about it with you. She has to be able to tell you how she feels. And when she gets it out, she's like, finally, he's actually listening. She wants your attention. She wants to and it sucks to take that, but like, use it as a learning experience. And if you can get that all out of her, where she's like, hopefully you guys can work things out. But you have to listen. And that's how she gets over things. And if you sit there and listen and let her get it all out, chances are she'll let go of it. She'll hold on to things for years. Like, guys are like, oh, what are you talking about? This is like years ago, because she hasn't gotten over this. Like, listen, man, go listen to Corey Wayne, man. He knows 1,000 more times than I know. But I learned a lot of the stuff from him. Look him up on YouTube. Go read his books. He understands women extremely well. But yeah, that's it's when you have a relationship, you have to be able to communicate with each other, whether it's good, whether it's bad. You're gonna have good times. You're gonna have bad times. But as a man, what you want to do is keep things, you don't want things to get stagnant between you two. You want to keep things unpredictable. You want to keep things a little bit exciting. And it's hard to do when you got a family, when you got kids, but you still have to do that. Whether you just come up her out of nowhere and give her a hug from behind, you usually don't. Maybe you start tickling her. Maybe you start like joking around with her. Like, you can't just be like, I have to get off of work, you just go do your thing, she does her thing, and that's it, man. And it's like, what? Just be single, you know what I mean? The whole communication is like, how's work? Good. How's your day? Good. And then you go your own ways and don't talk at all. That's like a roommate. That's like, there's no romance there. She's not going, oh, why doesn't my woman want to bang me? I don't know why. Maybe because you don't give her any attention. Maybe you don't notice she made your favorite meal. Maybe you take that for granted. Maybe you don't notice that she got a different shirt and she's like, she's wearing, she looks good in it, and you don't give her any type of validation. You have to compliment your wife, man. You have to. Complimenting strangers excessively, especially on the internet, that's the problem. But like, if you have a woman, you have to give them compliments. But You got to give them validation. And that's what I think. I think that women, a lot of their happiness comes from like getting validation from their man from things that they do who they care about. Whether it's like she makes something, your favorite meal, you come home, you eat it, and you're just like, thanks. And she's like, man, I put this thought into it. I went and got the groceries, I made it, and then it's just kind of like, whatever. You know, you gotta like see what she's giving. You have to look for little things that she does that you might take for granted, and they might go over your head. But those little things will add up in her mind, and she'll eventually just like check out, But yeah, you don't have to take advice from me. I'm a divorcee. I've dated a lot of women. I've had couple, probably including my ex-wife, about 3 long-term relationships. So you don't have to take my advice. A lot of this stuff is from Corey William. What I've learned a little bit is from I forgot the guy's name, but it makes sense. So yeah.